Hi guys, welcome back to Lunatic Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Lori Lothing. Today we're talking about Venus ingressing or moving into Leo on June the 27th to July the 21st. She'll bring you a little bit of love and money action in this part of the chart, depending on where this falls into your own natal chart based on your rising sign, sun and moon. So before we talk about sizzling Venus meeting up with Mars on the 13th of July, where there's fireworks sparking through the sky for huge love and money developments, please do me a favor, like and subscribe and, hit the notifications. It helps my channel grow. If you don't like my channel, just don't say anything or make a constructive comment in the comments rather than just hit that darn thumbs down, which drives me nuts. Okay, so first off, I want to say, if you are at all inclined to join my newsletter, I am having a draw in only a week for 2 free readings. Check the description box below. You will find my Great Reset reading there, but also you'll find that you can sign up for my weekly forecast newsletter, get a 30% discount code for a reading with me, but also be able to participate in a monthly draw for 2 free readings with me. So I'd love to have you aboard this private community of people on my weekly forecast newsletter. Thank you so much for waiting for the rest of the content. So guys, okay. So, Venus and Mars in the sky are so sizzling darn hot when they're in a fire sign like Leo. So I'm really going to say, for some of you out there, this definitely portends a potential fiery romance percolating in the month of July. And so I won't be surprised if some of you out of the blue are madly, passionately swept off your feet in some kind of love story. So that's exciting. For some other people, it might be more about a wild, passionate uptick and action around finances and money. Either way, it's kind of an exciting time. Before Venus gets to Mars on the 13th of July in the sign of Leo, she's going to be triggering, okay, the square between Uranus and Saturn. Uranus is in Taurus, which is Venus's sign, and Saturn is in Aquarius, his home sign. So Uranus is a house guest, right, in Venus's home sign of Taurus in the sky right now. He's around the middle degrees of the sign of Taurus, and he's in a square aspect to Saturn in Aquarius, and Saturn in Aquarius is actually in retrogradation. And when this energy is happening in the sky, where the two of them are frictioning, not agreeing, not getting along with each other, Uranus is change and freedom and liberation and invention and new and outside the box and UFOs and cryptocurrency, and Saturn is control, status quo, bearing down, keep it the same, safety and caution. You can see things like China saying we won't let crypto mining happen. We can see things like the Securities and Exchange Commission maybe making rules about crypto, or not allowing exchange traded funds for crypto or Bitcoin, etc. So you see government forces, for example, trying to clamp down. Saturn is strong in Aquarius on crypto, which can be Uranian energy in the sign of Taurus. That's just one example. Now, all of a sudden, Venus, the goddess of money, who's hosting Uranus in her Taurian home, hits Leo, where she's inclined to be like a queen, really like Queen Elizabeth, the Golden Age. What's that thing? I have a hurricane inside of me, says Kate Blanchett in that show. I love that. Well, she does have a hurricane inside of her, or a firestorm or a wildfire, when Venus goes into the sign of Leo. Now, with Mars already there, wildfire season is upon the United States, I'm sure. I'm recording this on the 26th of June, but fully expecting that Mars throughout the next few weeks until late July, while he's spending till the 3rd week of July, where he's spending a lot of time in Leo, is going to bring, lots of wildfires. But Venus brings a goodness to the story. I mean, she is a benefic. She's spending time in the same house as Mars. So hopefully she'll temper or dampen the intensity of extreme weather, whether extreme heat, wildfires, etc. And, even if it's bad, you almost want to think about how bad it would have been if Venus wasn't in the same sign as Mercury as a benefic, giving him a little softening. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the chart as I go through all signs. I'm going to try to keep each sign to about a 2-minute delineation to keep this really to be a quickie about each sign. Remember, your rising sign is the best, okay? That's where you really want to look. So let me share the chart with you guys, and let's go into it. So let's start here. I've got a Washington, D.C. chart up for some reason. I don't know why, but there it is. These are the planets that we only want to pay attention to. So I've just put them into the story. So first of all, before I do each sign, let's just talk about this story, right? Here comes Venus on June 27th, at like the wee hours, just after midnight, into Leo. And so there's a new temperament she has. She's less about comfort and love and food and nourishment and safety and home, Cancer. And now she's into fire. She's, as I said, a regal, a royal, a diva, a queen. She's commanding. She's trying to catch up with Mars, and she will on July 13th. As she steps into here, though, you see that she will eventually come into relationships called a square to Uranus in her home sign of Taurus, and an opposition to Saturn across the way. Now, Mars is doing all of this before she ever gets there. It's almost like Mars could create a huge amount of conflict, anarchy, and chaos, and Venus will come trying to mop it up. So, for example, let's give you an example. Oh, I'm going by hour, guys. Sorry, I meant to go by day. At that pace, you'll be watching this chart turn for 1,000 years. All right, so we're going by day. We see Mars at 11, Saturn at 12. Okay, that's engaging on June the 30th. You're really feeling like something is percolating, something is heating up, something is coming into, a frictiony vibe. You may even feel this sooner than this, maybe on the 29th, the 30th, July 1st. Mars opposing Saturn is, authority versus rebellion maybe, or anarchy, or there's just a disagreement going on here, and Mars wants to move forward and Saturn wants to stop. That can also be frustration, a little bit like a parking brake Mars and gunning the gas, parking brake Saturn and Mars gunning the gas at the same time. Maybe it's about the pandemic. We're all getting tired of it, and yet we can't go as forward as fast as we want. Mars is the god of plagues. And if you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll see what I'm going to be talking about for the pandemic in tomorrow's newsletter on the 27th. It goes out every Sunday. But Mars is invisible shortly. He's close to the sun, all right? And when he's close to the sun, which is now over here in Cancer, he starts to lose his shine. We can't see him in the sky. And he'll be traveling close to the sun, guys, from about now, early July anyway, all the way through to the end of December, acting very stealthy, very subversively. And given that he's the god of plagues and he is associated with this pandemic from his heliacal rise in October of 2019, it's very possible that his stealth-like hidden qualities for 6 months will mean that things are percolating out of sight that are difficult for us regarding the pandemic. What? I don't know what. Like bad vaccine outcomes that people didn't anticipate, like a new variant that's vaccine resistant, and more. But right now, Mars is just up in arms here, poking at Saturn. So this could be a desire for more, rights, more freedom, more entitlement. I would definitely say that Mars in Leo is kingly and entitled. This is what I'm loving about when these two come together on July 13th. If you're looking for love, you're a queen looking for a king, or a king looking for a queen. This is not about gender. This is about masculine and feminine energy. And so, there's a potential for quite the divine complement to emerge in your life sometime in the month of July. And let's continue with the sky story. So then Mars makes this direct opposition, and he's squaring Saturn, the god of freedom, rebellion, change, invention, the whole gamut of stuff. And this continues to play out where Mars is now firing bullets over here at Uranus while still engaging with Saturn. And by the time we get to July 3rd and July 4th, Independence Day in the United States, we can expect some fireworks, not just the kind that you like to watch. Maybe there's going to be, unfortunately, a domestic violence incident. Maybe there's going to be an explosion. Maybe there's going to be something going on that's really difficult. Maybe there's a wildfire way out of control. Maybe someone lights a bonfire that goes out of control. Something is going on around July 4th that may be very difficult and maybe playing out July 3rd, 4th, and 5th in particularly the United States. I'm focused on the holiday, Independence Day here, but for the world as well. Now, if you continue on, if we're talking cryptocurrency, and there's Uranus, and we look at July 5th, a trading day, right? Mars is now past the worst of it, but still engaged really by degree. And now Venus is coming in to mop up. So there could be some significant drops in, say, cryptocurrency, for example, or stock market stuff, banking and equity stuff in the early part of July, maybe July 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. But will Venus be able to sweeten the pot later? I don't know. So Venus is going to oppose Saturn, square Uranus, from about July 7th to July 10th. All of this T-square is playing out. This can bring surprising money news in your life. It could be shocking, or it can be delightfully surprising, or it could also be the same for love. Now, because she is in a close proximity to Mars, it's possible that some of this shock and awe in love and money can play out through trips and travel, action, male figures, gendered males in your life. And depending on each of your charts, this is going to play out in different places. I will address it really briefly in the all signs. And then lastly, Venus will come into her sweet embrace at 19 degrees of Leo with Mars. And this is what the chart's going to be set for during the actual all signs. I love to look at that 19-degree sweet kiss, hot sex moment that they're having in fiery Leo, and wonder what each of us is going to get from this sky embrace of the cosmic lovers on July 13th, give or take a day or two on either side. Let's take a look at all signs. I think I'm going to go traditional today, and I'm going to start with Aries. I've been all over the map lately, starting with whoever is on my screen at the time. But I'm going to give Aries the front row seat today. I'm an Aries, so why not, right? It would be good if I'd moved the chart the right way. It's one of those days, guys. One of those days. Okay. So for you, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant people, you're going to have the tension of the T-square that is created when this Venus opposes Saturn and there's a square to Uranus. Let's just say one thing. I'd say that the breakthrough energy, the breakout and breakthrough energy will happen in the Iranian tip of the T-square. And it is a money thing, Aries, sudden money. What's sudden money developments? Second house. And, with the release valve as well in the 8th house, joint money, tax rebates, inheritances, but maybe even winnings, because Venus is in the house of money luck. So a lot of Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants are going to have a bolt of money luck or money surprises happening around the middle of July. At the same time, you can also think about that your cosmic lovers, this sexy, hot, sizzling embrace over here is in the house of romantic love. And so, in a very literal way, if you're with someone, Aries, you may fall back in love. Guys may hop into bed. You may get very passionate all of a sudden. You may rekindle the romance. You may really just appreciate each other. And if you're single, then you could really meet one of those divine complements. A really powerful relationship, a great, powerful love, big love relationship might be sparking here for you in that 5th house in the middle of July. And reminding you that the bolt of money luck is earlier, right? Between July 5th and July 10th or so. Good time to playfully buy a lottery ticket. So, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and rising sign. Guess what? It is an energy of about July 5th to the 10th, where there's huge Uranian breakthrough, freedom, independence, individuality, invention, but also just feeling free and also reinventing yourself between July 5th and 10th or so, when Venus makes that T-square to Uranus opposing Saturn. And so, you may buckle against authority. You may push against authority and family of origin rules, and you may also break free of something that's restrictive to do with your home, your domestic life, or again, your family of origin life. But you're busting out, it's all about you. It's very, David Bowie, a very eccentric Uranian energy wants to express in that 1st house. Now, of course, that energy wants to express in your house, 1st house for a while now, since 2019, but it's definitely good for you defining yourself by your own standards and breaking out of any molds that you have been squashed into. The cosmic lovers is in the home base of the chart. If you are living with somebody domestically, this could be really good for your love life. The two of you may be feeling very passionate in the home. And if you're a single, particularly alone type of Taurus, Sun, Moon, or rising, This can be really great for you to find someone in your hometown or close to home. A new relationship could spark in that environment. It would be really a sizzling divine compliment for sure. You can also potentially meet somebody in your homeland. Sometimes the fourth house is your homeland. Let's say you live in Canada, but you were born in Mexico. Then you might take a trip and meet someone there during this time. So homeland, all of that. Again, cosmic lovers in the fourth too can be like someone you're in love with or fall in love with during this July. That's much like same language, same ethnicity, same traditions that you come from. All right, keep that in mind. But if you're already partnered, it just heats up a bit more. All right, just like sizzles a bit more. So you're going to find you Mercurial ruled Gemini folk that you're experiencing this T-square breakthrough in a dreamy past life reverie meditation kind of place. We don't have a direct thinking conscious access often to the 12th house. And so these are breakthrough dreams at night or insights during a meditation or something like that. Sometimes foreign lands can be the 12th house. So breakthrough stuff coming from foreign land or foreign shores. So you also can experience this sense of, Venus is the one who's doing a lot of pressure here against the T-square, and she's coming out of your third house of your local neighborhood, your siblings. A disagreement with a female sibling can cause you to have a breakthrough insight. A short trip or travel domestically, ideally, Venus could bring you a pleasurable trip or travel that fertilizes your imagination and your inner life and create some kind of breakthrough for you. And with Venus, Saturn up in the stage like Saturn up in the ninth house of Dharma and churches and religion, Venus is opposing that. So she's like not down for any of that stuff. She's like down with religion, down with the guru, down with the bossy preacher or the person who's trying to tell me what to do. It's all about these imaginative breakthroughs here. Now, as she comes together with her beloved Mars, her cosmic lover in the sky, the god of war with the god of love, she is sizzling hot in your local neighborhood. She's regally queenly meeting her divine complement. Now, if you don't have somebody and you're a single Gemini, sun, moon, or rising, guess what? Go to the pub, go to the restaurant, go to the local shops and stuff. This is where you're likely to meet someone. Also on a short trip or travel somewhere. And maybe, who knows, through a sibling or a local friend introducing you. If you are already with someone, going out to restaurants and bars and socializing in the neighborhood brings you closer together. So for you, Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign especially, get really ready for some good money stuff, guys. You're having money breakthrough here. Venus is a money goddess in an earnings and money house, and she is making a T-square to the 11th house of great gains from one's career, but also pennies from heaven, windfalls, where Saturn is in the house of legacy money, estate money, tax rebates, credit card debt. This looks like Venus wants to pay off all your credit card debt or clear the slate on your bank loans. But nonetheless, something exciting is happening here. And it's activating all the money angles, even activating the fifth house by the fact that's the midpoint of the T-square. So for sure, a lot of Cancer, sun, moon, and especially rising sign people are looking at a money breakthrough. Now, when it comes to love, this is going to be a sizzling divine complement with second house overtones. Now, your second house is the house of your voice, your vocation, what you eat and put in your mouth. It can bring a lot of pleasurable dining experiences with Venus there right now. And you'll probably be, fine whining and dining yourself, Venus and Leo, with quite the entitlement during, the first 3 weeks of July. But with Mars there, if you're a single Cancer, it could be like something as funny as meeting somebody in a restaurant or having the date of your life in a food and restaurant setting, and that it really seals the deal. It can also kind of be, sometimes our family of origin can be second house in the Vedic system. So maybe an introduction through someone in your family system. If you're already engaged with someone, whether you're dating or you're in a longer relationship, the sun rules the second house, right? And And there's a thought I have here about this for you. I mean, the sun is in Cancer as this happens, and so it's really something to do with a relationship that is developing that nourishes you, because the second house feeds the first. And what is nourishing, what is nurturant, what feeds you in a relationship? So if you're in a relationship, you're going to ask that the quality of the relationship become much more nourishing, but it's also passionate. So it's a passionate, nourishing uplift in your current love story, if you have one. All right, Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Guess what? You're going to feel that you are beautiful, because guess what? Venus is in your house of your identity. You'll be more persuasive, friendly, charismatic, and likable than you normally are, just as a general principle, as she goes through the sign of Leo, and that's great for you. And she is there till July 21st, so yay for you. Now, with the cause, well, first of all, let's talk about the T-square. With her T-square to Uranus slash, opposing Saturn, if you're in an existing love relationship, marriage, or committed partnership, there's some tension here. Saturn is already creating, for a lot of you, Leo, sun, moon, and ascendant, tension in your primary relationship. Saturn wants to sober up, make more realistic, and make more serious and mature up your marriages or your long-term love commitments. And now Venus comes into opposition to that Saturn, July 5th to 9th, and sort of is saying, hey, let's really get serious and buck up here, because I'm beautiful, I'm friendly, I'm desirable, I'm amazing. And you're just not like treating me as like you should, you're raining on my beautiful parade. So keep that in mind. That is a T-square that looks for a breakthrough in the 10th house and the 4th house axis. So you might have to move towards, some of you Leos, your passionate purpose and career direction, to sort of to get rid of the tension in the marriage. Like, don't focus so much on the relationship. All right. And changes in the home can facilitate that for you. Now, when it comes to love, you're really falling in love with you. I mean, this is a passionate love story in the house of yourself. You are loving you up. Maybe you appreciate how great you are. Maybe you see how beautiful and amazing and likable you are through the eyes of others around you. And you begin to muster up a great deal mid-July of self-esteem. And some of it may come through this workhouse, right? Because of that earlier T-square. Maybe you're finding that you're really, really like the most valuable worker, or your own business, you're loving your work. Okay. So something about your self-worth is improving, your sense of lovability of yourself. All right. So, hey, Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign, guess what? You are having a very subtle experience of Venus in the 12th house, and she will be there till July 21st. So June 27th to July 21st, you're finding the inner imaginal dream life to be very Venusian. Now, this can also mean women from foreign shores or women with karmic connections can play a big role in your life during this time. When that T-square is activated July 5th to 9th or so, you're going to find that there's a lot of tension between your inner life, including just getting a good night's sleep, and the 6th house of work. So you may have tension between your work duties and responsibilities, and you just want to languish in bed, daydream, meditate, check out a bit, really. And yet you've got this tension from Saturn in the work house and the health house too. So when it comes to your health, Venus in the 12th is saying, get a good night's sleep, rest, restore, visualize, imagine, creatively visualize. Then with Uranus in your 9th house, there's some breakthrough energy in the house of foreign lands, the house of father in the Vedic system, the house of trips and travel to foreign shores. Okay. So keep that in mind. You may also muster up some kind of breakthrough in your education here, like suddenly realize I want to study a certain topic and apply to go to university or school in a higher education setting, to get out of the drudgery maybe of whatever this work is that you're not enjoying. It's romance in the 12th house is a hidden house. Now, if you're single, you could have a secret romance with somebody. I'd be a little cautious. It's a house of hidden enemies. So, maybe you could get involved in a romance, but it may not go so well. It's also your dreams at night, sexy dreams, romantic dreams at night, all of that. Yeah. And if you're with somebody, The love story is happening pretty well undercover right now. It's not the most romantic time for you in your existing relationships, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. You guys are having the sizzle of the cosmic lovers in your 11th house of good spirit. And the T-square that temporarily forms here, although you can't see the lines, but trust me, it's there, July 5th to the 9th, is a pressure cooker of tension between the goddess of love in your 11th house, all entitled in her queenly garb, commanding performance up here, the house of groups of people that, you can influence, and that great gains from your career, and some, money luck can be up here. She's quite happy up here. In fact, for a lot of you, Libra rising and Sun and Moon, some of you will have money breakthroughs, especially unexpectedly, pennies from heaven, windfalls. And Uranus in your 8th house supports that. This is bank loans and inheritances and investment monies, like in the stock market. So something could really pop in your finances for you guys around July 5th to the 9th. Now, there's definitely shock and awe in the money story. I'm hoping it's good because this is a very good house, right? So positive money developments. Now, there's the Venus is wanting to connect with women and friends and larger social communities when she's in the 11th, gathering the tribe, connecting with the tribe, being part of the group of people that you wish to belong to, and is opposing the 5th house of romantic love and children and, all of that. Saturn here is making things difficult for you right now with your children until 2003. They may be a bit of a pain in the inspiration bum. They may not be easy right now for you if you have them. It's also a sort of a qualitative damper on just fun play and romance. However, Saturn in the 5th can bring a karmic romance or a very solid, long-lasting love story. So keep that in mind. And he's there till 2003. But right now, she just wants to have fun with larger groups of people. And she wants to inspire you, to remind you of your hopes, dreams, and wishes, and maybe bring a financial breakthrough. Saturn, Uranus, and Venus are in money houses, okay? Now, the cosmic lovers in the house of groups of people and friends, well, this is like a companionable relationship suddenly takes off. A friendship suddenly takes a turn for the romantic. Or a friend introduces you to some sizzling person who becomes a passionate love affair for you in the middle of July, around the 13th, give or take a few days. So keep your eye on that mark and see what happens. And next. Sorry about that, guys. Oh my goodness. That was funny. I didn't want to do that. That went crazy on me. Sorry. Hang in there. I wanted to get back to the 19 degrees, but good luck with that. Okay, good enough. All right, so who was I on last? Libra, so I gotta go. Hang on. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. So you guys are experiencing, first of all, a lot of this tension of Uranus in your marriage house since 2019 could mean that there have been some serious ups and downs in long-term existing relationships, whether you're married or not. Now, in the sky, Venus will square that Uranus and oppose that Saturn in the 4th house of your domestic life. Now, this is not going to be easy for a long-term love story because you might have domestic tension between July 5th and, say, the 10th that needs to break through. All right, no two ways about it. Or something needs to break through in the home or the real estate or the land that you own. Now, possibly there could be a legal offer coming, a tender, because Uranus is suddenness in the house of legal agreements and contracts. You could have an offer on real estate that you didn't expect, and Venus up there would bring in the money, honey, for sure. So there's that option as well as a positive spin here. The cosmic lovers in your 10th house on July 13th is about your career. You may meet somebody if you're single in the workplace or in the public sphere of your reputation and where you operate, career or your public life. But it also can literally also mean some synergy and sizzle and passion developing in the career zone of your chart. You may find a female in the workplace helps you and is very powerfully taking action on your behalf, Mars, to support some career success and sizzle up here. All right. If you're with somebody long term, this is a bit of a tension that pressures the seventh house from whole sign house placement. So yeah, some of you, maybe Scorpios, may have a attraction to someone in the workplace or in the career zone, and it may put pressure, undue pressure on your existing long-term love story. So watch for that as well. Office romances often don't go well, except when they do. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. Okay, I'm really liking the fact that you have Venus and Mars in Leo in your ninth house of God, soul, truth, wisdom, and justice. And also in terms of foreign lands and travel, a fun place to travel because Mars loves to journey, and he's up there in Leo and in the ninth house for you, Sagittarius. A lot of you want to take a trip. You're like, get me out of here. I'm ready for a vacation, particularly to foreign shores. Now, with this T-square, you know, Uranus is like in the work house, and he's been trying to break up your stagnation of your health and work routine since 2019. And all of a sudden there is this intense energy forming in the sky. You know, Venus is trying to mop up after Mars. I mean, for instance, you could have an argument with authority figures in the workplace that leads to a huge amount of disagreement that Venus is trying to smooth over in the middle of July. That's an example. You also could find that your siblings are a source of challenge. You know, Saturn in the house of siblings till 2023 March could even be a death of a sibling in this next 2.5 years. Don't take it so literally. It's quite email me when I said that, get all worried. You know, it's not for everybody, but I'm just being, you know, telling you what Saturn can mean in the house of siblings for 2 years, illness or death of a sibling. And at the same time, though, a sibling can be restrictive and difficult and hard on you. And you're feeling that. And right now it comes to a peak or a pressure cooker in July. And Venus is trying her best to smooth over some of the tension that may have occurred earlier with the Mars activation of that energy field. The cosmic lovers in the ninth house, love in a foreign land, love in an higher educational setting. So some of you Sagittarius may find love in those areas, or love in a synagogue or a church or a spiritual community. So sizzling hot romances can develop there for some of you Sagittariuses. And if you're with somebody, you can deepen your relationship and sizzle it up by going on a trip or studying something together. Or, I don't know, going to a sacred temple where they practice Tantra. Who knows? So Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. So there's a lot of money going on here for you guys. You're one of the money signs. So Venus and Mars are co-joined in your investments, your 401k, your bank loans, your investment portfolios, your inheritance house, your spouse's money. And they're sizzling up a firestorm over here. And there's that T-square, I'd say July 5th to the 10th or so, with Venus trying to mop up anything Mars incited in the week before that, to do with tension in that fifth house. Now, fifth house is breakthrough money that can come through speculation and gambling and investments, taking risks, even a lottery ticket. And you can see that you also have Saturn in the second house of earnings and vocational money and income, you know, squaring that breakthrough in the house of money luck. It could be a lucky money breakthrough, but you might have to haggle with your primary partner about the money story, how to divide the winnings or something like that. There'll be conflict around that in some way. You might have to share the money with two people or something like that, Capricorn rising, two people in the house of joint resources. So we'll see what happens there. But it is definitely looking like an attempt to have a money breakthrough for you. Then when the cosmic lovers come together on July 13th in the 8th house, that's a secret love affair. That can be an infidelity if you're with somebody. Are you having an infidelity? Is your partner having an infidelity? Is there a secret love going on? Taboo love, breaking the rules love, kinky sex. Some of those can be this cosmic lovers kissing and uniting in your 8th house. In the middle of July. Is there something going on that you should know about? Forbidden love. What is taboo love for you? Because it looks like if you're a single Cap, you're going to find yourself some forbidden fruit here. Like, I'll never be with a married person. Next thing you know, you're in bed with a married person. Now, if you're in a relationship already, what are the sexual kink elements of the relationship that might be explored during the middle of July's rendezvous of these two cosmic lovers in a house that's often associated with tantra and non-vanilla sex? I'll leave it at that. So here we are for the Aquarius sun, moon, and rising sign people. I am Aquarius rising. We're having the cosmic lovers in the middle of July, uniting in our 7th house of committed love. Before I get to that, though, you can see that there was a T-square, say July 5th to 10th-ish, with Venus in the 7th, pressuring Uranus in the 4th, and pressuring Saturn in the 1st. Saturn in the 1st, stoic, hardworking, realistic, disciplined, in dignity, in your house of your body. A lot of you guys are working through body stuff. I have a hip injury I'm trying to heal. Saturn's retrograde. It's been a longer hip problem for the last 4 years. Now there's an acute injury, and now I'm working to heal it. So in your body and your self-identity are undergoing Saturnian sobering up. Now that is a general thing that goes on till 2003. But right now there's an acute tension happening between Saturn and Uranus in the 4th house of home. So some of you Aquarians are in the middle of changing your home, renovating your home, moving your home like I am, moving my house. And that's tense. Every time you move, it's very difficult and challenging, no matter how optimistic and upbeat like I am, you are. And you're maybe even finding that July 5th to 10th, this whole home vibe is having a lot of tension through 7th house interactions. What significant other, first of all, legal contracts, did your landlord renege on the lease? Do you have technical problems with contracts regarding home? On the other hand, 7th house is, the significant other in your life. And so there may be tension there in the domestic environment. Is having a breakthrough of some sort for some of you paired Aquarians. Single Aquarians, however, watch out for love that will go the distance, because whatever this is in the 7th house, it can promise not just a romantic sizzle, but a condition called long-term relationship. So something could really take off in the middle of July that will have the hallmarks of an enduring, committed relationship down the road. Last but not least, of course, is Pisces sun, moon, and rising sign. You're having this cosmic lovers uniting in your 6th house of karmic debt and work and service, the house of your health protocols. Before that happens, however, we just look at that Venus T-square to Uranus, and we ask a question between July 5th and 10th or so. What is Venus mopping up for? What did Saturn do when he first squared Uranus and opposed? What did Mars do when he first squared Uranus and opposed Saturn? So for some of you, this can be an upset in your workplace. If you're employed, your coworkers and you might have had a disagreement, an argument. You may have tension with a sibling that influences your health or your work. You may find that your inner life desire for solitude and your going inward, the Hermit transit, Saturn in your 12th to 2003, is at odds with your need to be working and in work and doing work in the world. Okay. So Venus is trying to sweeten it up a bit, and on July 5th to the 10th, bring a little bit of breakthrough energy in the 3rd house of learning, teaching, short trips and travel, and siblings. So some of you may take a trip, like a weekend getaway, to try to break some tension here. And you may develop some breakthrough energy with a sibling. And the 3rd house is your online social media and websites. And with Uranus there, a lot of you Pisces got online, right? About 2019, maybe never looked back. And now you're tinkering with some of that stuff. Cosmic lovers in the 6th house is very interesting. It could be a coworker romance, falling in love with someone in the same career workspace as you, a sizzling romance in the work area. 6th house can be funny enough, it's our pets, maybe you're going to fall in love with a pet. Maybe you're going to get a new pet and you guys are like totally like jiving together. The 6th house is somewhat of a difficult place sometimes for people, where we feel like we're slavery, working, drudgery, work is duty. But with a sizzling, passionate lovers connection, you might fall in love with an aspect of work where all of a sudden it feels to you no longer dutiful and drudgery, but also passionate and you're excited about it. So that's another way to read that as well. Or getting passionate about a health protocol as well, or sexing for better health. If you're single, though, it could be a work romance that's new, right? And if you're with someone, then maybe just your love life becomes better for your health. Suddenly you realize that you do want to have some sexual energy moving through your being to fortify your health and not get sick. All right, there we go. That is everything for this reading, and welcome to my channel. Please like and subscribe and hit the notifications button if you've listened this far. Thank you so much. My hair is a mess today. It is so humid here in Kirkland Lake, Ontario. I have such big hair, and plus it's hard water, right? It's very minerally water, and I swear I have big hair when I wash my hair up in Northern Ontario, Canada. Bye, guys.